The doors to the Viridian Tea House are open once more. Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. I hope your week went well, and if it didn't, maybe the weekend will make up for it. And for all of those who are at Dragon Con this weekend, I hope you have a fantastic time. And if you're a vendor, I hope you sell out of everything. It's been a while since I was last at Dragon Con, and I remember the chaos, the fun, the costumes, all of it. So may you have a lot of fun at Dragon Con in Hotlanta. Let's see, news. So tomorrow I will be a vendor at Mutiny Market as always. This is one of my favorite events, and our hours will be the usual from 11 to 5. The final Mutiny Market for the year and probably forever is September 22nd. So if you've been meaning to stop by but you just haven't been able to, please stop by. We are here every Saturday and Sunday right next to Mutiny Information Cafe. So hope to see you there. And on Sunday, I will be a vendor at the Outpost Country Market in Golden. Always a hoot and a holler. Lots of country music, lots of fun. And those hours are from 9 to 2. So you can be in Denver on Saturday or Golden on Sunday or both. But I hope to see you at one of the events. So hope to see you soon. Right, so I've got two wonderful books to talk about, plus some tea, and if you're ready, let's do this. So the first book is written by a friend of mine, and I do call him friend, and I do fangirl every time I see him post on Facebook or Instagram or just anything about his incredible life. And I'm so happy that I finally got the fifth book in his murder mystery series. And this is Playing with Fire by Gerald Elias. So let me read the back of it for you. Blind violinist Daniel Jacobus. Daniel Jacobus is one of the coolest characters that I've ever read. And I've read a plethora of characters, but Daniel Jacobus, he's crotchety, he's blind due to a freak. It wasn't an accident. It was a genetic disorder. I think that's what happened. But yet, in the mysteries that I've read with him and his friend Nathaniel and his student Yumi, they always figure out the mystery, and they do it so well. They are a great trio. They really are. Anyway, blind violinist Daniel Jacobus is living in self-imposed exile and enjoying a peaceful Christmas Eve when he receives an anxious phone call from obscure violin maker Amedeo Borlatti, urgently requesting a meeting. In their festivity, Daniel Jacobus and his dear friends Nathaniel and Yumi make light of it and dismiss Borlatti's request, which they really shouldn't have done. But when Borlatti goes missing after a fire in his shop, it's up to Jacobus and his team to investigate the disappearance. Where are the violins which should have been in his shop, and how did Borlatti vanish without a trace? This, with every book that I've read in the series, it just gets better and better and better. This one threw me. I mean, all of them have thrown me, but this one really threw me because I thought, where did Borlatti go? Did he just disappear with the violins? But I won't, I will, wait a minute. I don't want to talk too much about the mystery, but imagine the mafia and counterfeit violins and counterfeit certificates involving violins, deceit, truths finally coming to light, trips to Italy, and you have Playing with Fire by Gerald Elias. And I almost gave away all the story, and I think I might have, so I'm so sorry. But it's an incredible, incredible book. Even if you don't want to read the first 4 books, because this is the 5th one, even if you don't want to read the first 4 books, that's okay. He gives you just enough so you can say, where am I? Who are these characters? Oh, great. Got it. Moving forward. So, but excellent writing. I always feel like I'm right there with Nathaniel, Yumi, and Daniel. And I, too, am trying to figure out the murder mystery as well. And this one was pretty gruesome. So, Playing with Fire by Gerald Elias does receive 5 pots of tea from Viridian Tea House. So, many, many thanks. And Mr. Elias is not only, and he's so accomplished as a writer. I think he just put out a new book as well, and I'm looking forward to reading that. But he's also a violinist, and just a very extremely talented one at that. He puts my little, I know 6 songs on my violin to shame. He really does. But many thanks, Mr. Elias, for writing these books. And I always do enjoy reading them. And just thank you so much. Thank you. I really, really do appreciate everything that you do. Thank you. So the next book, excuse me, a little sweat there. The next book is the first book by an author that I had reviewed. I think it was the last video. That was The Ruins by Phoebe Wynne. So I finally got a hold of Madam, and many thanks to Arapahoe Libraries for having this book. And you know, let me just say this. It does receive a solid 3 pots of tea from Viridian Tea House. And the reason why I give it 3, a solid 3, is because I actually enjoy The Ruins better. I don't know what it was, but everybody on Goodreads seemed to love Madam more than The Ruins. I'm vice versa. So let me read the dust jacket for you. For 150 years, high above rocky Scottish cliffs, Collinbray Hall has sat untouched, a beacon of excellence in an old ancestral castle. A boarding school for girls, it promises that the young women lucky enough to be admitted will emerge, quote unquote, resilient and ready to serve society. Yeah, big eye roll with that one. Into its illustrious midst steps Rose Christie, a 26-year-old classics teacher, Collinbray's new head of the department, and the first hire for the school in over a decade. At first, Rose is overwhelmed to be invited into this institution where prestige is unrivaled. But she quickly discovers that behind the school's elitist veneer lies an impenetrable, starkly traditional culture that she struggles to reconcile with her modernist beliefs, not to mention her commitment to educating girls for the future. It also doesn't take long for Rose to suspect that there's more to the secret circumstances surrounding the abrupt departure of her predecessor, a woman whose ghost lingers everywhere, than anyone is willing to let on. In her search for this mysterious former teacher, Rose instead uncovers the darkness that beats at the heart of Collinbray, forcing her to confront the true extent of the school's nefarious purpose and her own role in perpetuating it. Let's see, it's a little bit hard to read here. A darkly feminist tale pitched against a haunting backdrop and populated with an electrifying cast of heroines, Madam will keep readers engrossed until the breathtaking conclusion. And once again about Phoebe Wynne, she worked in education for 8 years, teaching classics in the UK and English language and literature in Paris. She is both British and French and currently divides her time between France and England. Madam is her first novel. So I said the short version was I liked The Ruins more. Madam was okay. It really was okay. I was expecting more of a Stepford Wives kind of ending. I hope I didn't give away too much, but I love Stepford Wives. I think that is one of the creepiest stories I've ever seen and read. And Madam kind of made me feel like that same kind of story. However, Rose Christie got on my nerves. You know, I was thinking to myself after I finished the book, I said, what's worse? The prisoner who knows that they're in a prison and yet makes the most of it, and the prisoner who doesn't know that they're in a prison and is yelling at the other prisoners, be free like me, I'm so free, don't you want to be free like me? And the other prisoners are seeing this prisoner going, but you're just as much a prisoner as us. And that's how I felt about Rose Christie. I felt that for all of her modern ways and all of her feminist ways that she got from her mother, she felt very much a prisoner who didn't know it. And she was a little bit annoying, and she would have all these meltdowns all through the story. And I just kept thinking, there's better ways to do what you're trying to do. There's better ways to get your message across. Yelling and screaming does not work in a situation like this. I thought that the twist of the story was kind of a letdown. I thought, okay, so we have this. So what's going to happen now? What's the real twist? And I thought, oh, wait, that's it. Oh, well, okay, I'll go with that. So the ending has got to be just diabolical. And the ending, like I said, was just meh. It was wrapped up really nicely. And I'm sure some of the readers really enjoyed that. I didn't really care for it. I was expecting a much darker ending. I'm kind of macabre that way. But having said that, I really, really did enjoy the overall story. I really did. And I can always tell if I'm going to enjoy the book when I open it and I'm no longer sitting in my bedroom or in my living room, but I'm actually there with the characters. And I felt like I was right there in the boarding school. I really, truly did. Some secrets were brought to the surface and a lot of pettiness, but what do you expect? It's all girls, boarding school in Scotland. But overall, I really, really like the fact that Phoebe Wynne is quite a storyteller. So, like I said, it does receive 3 pots of tea from Viridian Tea House, and anything else that she writes, I'm definitely going to read. So, Phoebe Wynne, if you're watching this, really, thank you so much for the 2 books you have so far, and I can't wait to see what else you write. Thank you. So, getting to the tea portion, it's not a review. So, in honor of Mr. Elias and Daniel Jacobus, I brewed a cup of my Rosin and Bow tea. And that's actually my violin on the label. That's Frederica. As far as I remember with my inventory, ViridianTeaCompany.com, I have 1 bag of Rosin and Bow left. I tell people this is one of my smoky blends. It's made with a Lapsang Shousong. Lapsang Shousong is basically black tea that's been smoked over pine wood. So you get that smoky taste. But it's not like you're swallowing a lot of smoke. It's very mild, actually. So the ingredients in Rosin and Bow, it's Lapsang Shousong, smoky black tea, dried orange peel, allspice, cacao nibs, and ginger. So the story behind Rosin and Bow is I wanted to create a tea blend that reflected how I played my violin. And when I created it and drank it, I thought, this is spot on. So let me just get rid of my infuser here. Normally, I let my black teas steep for about 5 to 7, maybe 8 minutes. This has been steeping for about 10. But it's still delicious. So for me to you, a cup of Rosin and Bow tea. Ooh, kind of fogged up my glasses a little. Yeah, that smokiness comes, but again, it's not overpowering. It's not like somebody's just throwing a lit cigarette or a campfire in your mouth. But this is quite nice. And something else too, when I've made this tea hot, the smokiness is there, but it's not overpowering. When I've made it iced, I've noticed that the smokiness is actually a little bit less. You can still taste it, but it's not like oh God, that's really strong. Icing it actually mutes the smoky flavor even more than just brewing it. Yeah, that's delicious. And I can taste all the other flavors too, and it really does remind me of me playing my violin. So before I wrap up, let's do our water and tea meditation. Make sure you have a glass of water or a cup of your favorite tea nearby. Find yourself in a comfortable position in a room where you will not be disturbed, and we're just going to focus on our breathing. And if you find yourself caught up in a thought, which we all do, I mean, our brains don't shut down, just politely and quietly tell yourself, thinking. Allow the thought to go by and just return to the breath. There's no chanting, no images. We're just going to take a break out of our crazy days and just breathe. And now let's end this breathing meditation with a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Slowly open your eyes or allow your eyes to come back into focus. And now let's have a sip of your water or tea. That's delicious. So that's all I have for today. Many thanks to Gerald Elias and Phoebe Wynne for their incredible books. Can't wait to read what else they've written or are going to write. And to the folks who do Mutiny Market and Growing Out West Farmers Market and Outpost Country Market and all the farmers markets, not only in Colorado, but all throughout the United States. Thank you so much for doing what you do, and the vintage markets too. And finally, for all of y'all for watching these videos, I truly do appreciate it. And if you like what you see, even though I screw up and there's no script and there's no editing, please give it a thumbs up, give it a comment. Would love to hear what you think. And I've said this before, I'll always say it. If you're an author, creative person, musician, tea blender, and you would like to get your products reviewed through Viridian Tea House, please reach out to me. I would love to connect with you. So, as always, take care of yourself and each other. Raise your tea mug high. And remember that to drink tea is to enjoy life. I will see you guys really soon. Bye for now.